Hey everyone, spirited drop from the back of a taxi. It's Thursday and I've got a full slate of clients for energy healing and intuitive reads today, which I'm really looking forward to. And I wanted to come on today to talk about artificial intelligence, AI. It's obviously now just so mainstream, and I've been getting a few pings this week around the impact of AI on my work, producing spiritual content, and there's a number of things that I'm looking at. So I'm writing a blog post at the moment, which will come out next month, about the impact of AI in the spiritual industry, for want of a better word, and the generation of spiritual content, and how is it blurring this line between inspiration, imitation and appropriation. And this has certainly been a feature of my work for years now, where I see people who've done a course with me or been in a talk with me, and they've repurposed that content for their own commercial gain. And I think it's rife, it's not regulated, it's very unoriginal. But I'm really asking my question now, with AI becoming a very mainstream way for people to research and develop their content, and of course it's drawing from existing publicly available content. Has it changed our attitude towards plagiarism? And I think it may be. So anyway, but that blog post is coming out. But then similarly, I was asked twice this week, why don't I ask AI to generate the music for my guided meditation tracks? Now, I've worked for years with an absolutely brilliant musician, Sam Jewell. You've heard me talk about him all the time. He's referenced on all of my tracks that I release. Everyone knows that he and I are in a lovely long-term collaboration. We totally get each other. And also Jason DeWild, who is our editor, that just adds this beautiful finessing magic over the top. And these tracks that we've been producing are enormously popular. You know, they've touched the hearts and spirits of hundreds of thousands of meditators around the world. I produce different sets of tracks, so some tracks are not released to the public, they're for Spirited Living members only. Some I release on Insight Timer for general use, they're free to stream, and some I sell in my online shop, and the proceeds of that create charity funds. So I've got lots of different sort of streams of guided meditation tracks and spiritual music that I produce. But my response to these two different people, unrelated, they said, why don't you use AI to do your music, be quicker, be faster, is that because it has no soul. And I was explaining to them like what our process is for generating a beautiful guided meditation track, and it starts with an idea. I talk to Sam, and we have a brief about the arc of the experience of the track, the feelings, the parts of the energy body that it will be engaging, and therefore what kind of frequency, what kind of tonality, and then from there Sam will choose his instruments, and then we bat it back and forth, and I meditate to it, and then it goes to Jason and he adds another layer of nuance in it. And I think the three of us working like that in a really beautiful, very collaborative and supportive creative process imbues those tracks with soul and with depth. And it's a bit like cooking a lovely sauce in an old sort of iron pot. You know, it gets cooked up and the flavour gets deeper and more meaningful. And I think that's why, absolutely, that's the secret sauce of our meditation tracks, and why they're so loved and so shared by meditators around the world. So for me, AI is not going to be generating my meditation music, and I prefer to work with humans with souls on that. And it's interesting too, like these AI checks. So another thing I've been thinking about with this blog post is I work with a fantastic writing coach, Lisa Clifford, and I've been a bit delayed on my instalments, but our general arrangement is I send her 7,000 words on the novel that I'm writing every month. And one of the first things she does is she puts it through an AI detection tool to see how much of it is actually uniquely written. And of course, I score very, very high. I'm very proud to say I do use AI to do some of the environmental research that I reference in the story, but every single word comes from my mind and my heart, and I think you can tell, you know. And so I'm not. I think we have an inner AI screening or detection guide, and you can see it in social media posts, with meditations, with content people are putting out. It just feels a little bit surfacey to me. It doesn't grip me. There's no sort of personal refraction. There's no clever nuance in the content. It's just definitely kind of just spewed out from a very complex and cool search of what's already out there. So AI in the spiritual industry, stay tuned on this one. I'm going to be putting a bit more commentary out on that, and I hope that's got you thinking. I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Okay, everyone, bye.